Hi, I'm Grant. This is Dad Crafted, and this is how we made faux shiplap to help transform the laundry room. Because my wife told me to. Alright, let's go.
Alright, so you're going to need a bunch of hardboard for this project. And everything you see here is a 1/4 inch hardboard that we bought from the big box stores. One 8-foot by 4-foot panel of this is about anywhere from 12 to 15 bucks. So measure your space, get a square footage count, and then determine how much hardboard you're going to need. Then once I had everything bought, what I did was cut everything down into 7 7/8 inch strips. I did this the short way so that each of them were 4 foot long. You could do it the long way, it's just easier to manage these big sheets like this, trying to cut them into 4-foot strips instead of the 8-foot strips the long way. As with any time you're using the table saw, you should take as much precaution as possible. You could easily do this with a circular saw or a jigsaw, just using some kind of a guide rail to make straight, even cuts. I just found this easier and quicker because I have a workbench that's the exact same height as my table saw, and that makes it sort of easy to kind of slide things across and make even cuts. With any decent sized space, just know you're going to be making a ton of these cuts, so mask up.
Alright, so I'm going to start at the bottom, work my way up, nail one of these in at a time, and they're going to be kind of snug, but for the most part there's a little bit of give, and that's fine because there's going to be more going up on each side, and we're going to do a 1/4 round to fill the gaps, so it doesn't have to be perfect at all. But I'm going to nail the first one up, and then we'll use popsicle sticks in between each level so that there's a little bit of a gap. But basically, I'm not using any glue. We're just going to try it. Alright, so first one went in easy. Second one, these are actually quart paint sticks, so they're a little less than an 1/8 inch thick. I don't know if I'd call it a 16th or not, but I'm just going to put them in there like that. Going to get us a little centered, and then brad nail in and rinse and repeat all the way up to the ceiling. There we go. 2 down. 987 to go.
There are also going to be times where you're going to have to get around light switches and outlets, so you'll need a drill, a jigsaw or bandsaw, things to help you make these cuts in the boards so that you can fit over top of the outlets and whatever nooks and crannies you have to get around.
Just wanted to take a quick minute to say, if you like this project and you think you'd like similar projects, then please check out my website, dadcrafted.com, or please check out any of the other videos on this YouTube channel. We do all kinds of family projects like rustic wall shelves, carpeting the stairs with just regular old carpet runners, bird feeders. We also do all kinds of kid projects like weapons from Legend of Zelda, Lego shelves, and tons of Star Wars stuff. I also have a lot of projects from my wood shop, which is my garage. We do things like massive workbench builds, lumber storage, canoe paddles, and even how I epoxy my garage floor. So again, please check out the site, dadcrafted.com, and please give the channel a subscribe. Thanks a lot.
You'll likely also be running back and forth from your workspace down to wherever you're cutting your hardboard pieces. There's tons of measuring and cutting, so if you can keep your saw close to your workspace, that's ideal. But for me, it wasn't. So, up and down the stairs a lot, back and forth to the garage. And chances are you're going to have to rip down a few pieces to fit close to the ceiling. So, all these clips of nailing are just a nice reminder that unless you've got a really big, flat wall, there's going to be tons of cutting and tons of nailing. And this is probably going to take you a while, and eventually it's going to lead to some frustration. I've never hated a second floor laundry room so much in my life. This is constantly going back to the miter saw that's downstairs, outside, in the garage, to make one tiny little 1/8 of an inch cut to make it fit.
I'm just jacking it up. Ha! Yes!
Got a wrap, Daddy?
That's a wrap.
Take any extra.
Done! We're all done.
Help me paint.
Except for taking the
What's on your shirt?
things out of the walls.
Still need paint.
But it's looking good.
Lines,
What do you think?
more.
Yeah. So what are we doing?
1 coat of primer, 2 coats of paint. And we're not worried about the cracks because we got time for that.
Nobody got time for that. So this is not even trying to get in between the cracks. This is just roller. And we're just gonna leave it that way because trying to brush that in, too many beads, too much mess. And we kind of like the line look.
We're not worried about the cracks, but I've been doing a little popsicle stick trick where I go through and just get the beading out. You get paint in there, just kind of gently go in and take it out so you don't have that weird beading.
I think before we said 2 coats of paint, we ended up doing 3. If you're doing a lighter color like this, it's probably going to take 3 coats just because the MDF or the hardboard is so dark. So to cover it up and get a really good look, just do enough until it looks good. As you can see, we ended up doing a lot of other things with this laundry room makeover, like crown molding, ceiling tiles, chalk painted cabinets, but this faux shiplap really gave it a nice clean look that was a base that allowed us to build on for everything else. We're both really happy on how everything turned out. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Ah! Please fit. Please fit. Ah! Stupid old houses.